Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Grizzly. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today we are going to be talking about the news related to Courtney Clenney. And we actually covered this case, we did a deep dive a year ago. Damn, time flies. So before we look at the news, what I'm going to do is a recap of the case. Okay, we're going to quickly look at my presentation again so that we're all on the same page, because I think a year is too long to remember all the details, right? Unless you've been following really closely, there hasn't been much news until now where Courtney Clenney's parents have been arrested and charged with tampering with evidence. So we'll go over that news, okay? Welcome to all my moderators. Thank you so much for everything you do. And happy birthday to Rochelle Pronzo. I hope that you have a wonderful day. And thank you so much for being one of our fantastic moderators here on this channel. Also, welcome to all my patrons, members, subscribers, lurkers, everyone. If you haven't yet subscribed, or even if you have, just check that you are subscribed, okay? Because sometimes YouTube, when they do updates and things, they'll automatically unsubscribe you. So just make sure that you are, and if you aren't, make sure you correct that, okay? Subscribe, become part of this community, and make sure that your notifications are on. Because, for instance, did you see the live stream we did earlier? Sometimes, news comes up or a press conference, and you don't want to miss those with us, okay? Chat with us here. So now, with all that out the way, also, because not everyone stays till the very end, I do want to say that tomorrow we are going to have a Patreon-only live stream. So, of course, YouTube membership and Patreon are two totally different things. And so there's lots of Grizzlies that have made their way over to Patreon, and I hope you guys will check it out as well. All the links are on my website, and it explains the difference between the two, okay, in case you're confused. Some people are members and patrons, and oh my word, thank you so much for that. And so tomorrow we'll have a Patreon-only live stream, which is different to a YouTube members-only live stream. And to members, we will have a members one again very soon. All right. So now we're going to get into the presentation here so that we're all up to speed on who is Courtney Clenney, what has she been charged with, what happened, who's the victim, and let's send lots of love to the victim's family and friends, because patience to wait for this trial as well. There's no trial date yet. I think there was a trial date at some point, but then, it got moved, and these things take time. So, yes, Rob says the live stream on Patreon sounds exciting. Yes, I'm very excited for that. Okay, so Courtney Clenney, if you did see my presentation, ooh, you're an OG, an original Grizzly. Do you remember it from a year ago? Well, we went over this, okay? We went over this. So, Courtney Clenney was born on April 21st of 1996 in Texas, USA. She grew up in Texas with her mom, dad, and sister. Her parents were well off, and the girls were spoiled. Courtney was very sporty growing up. She played football, volleyball, diving. She did diving, gymnastics, everything. She loved sport and fitness so much that she became a qualified personal trainer. She moved to Los Angeles and then decided to make the most of social media, eventually being featured in Playboy magazine and then becoming Insta famous, right? So Instagram famous with over 1 million followers, with tons of sponsorships, and then decided to become an OnlyFans star. So you might see this case in the headlines of the media. Does mine doesn't say it. Mine says Courtney Clenney's parents charged. But you might see OnlyFans model charged with murder and things like that, because she was an OnlyFans model and quite a well-known one. Her Instagram page is still up as well. I think it's Courtney Taylor is what she's got it up as. So, yeah. CG says she was an OnlyFans model. Yes, okay. So is CJ says snarking it up? CJ, snark it up. Okay, so that is what we know about her so far. So there's a picture of her there. If you want to check out her Instagram page, you can. I can't believe it's still up though, because she's alleged, right? So she's innocent until proven guilty, but whew, ooh, the evidence is starting to stack up against her, right? There's videos and all sorts of things. And we've done a deep dive on that. We've looked at her police interview before. We might want to look at it sometime together again, because there's a lot more Grizzlies here now than there was a year ago. So maybe we could all watch it together again sometime. We've watched a police interview, heard the 911 calls. I'll show you snippets of that today as well. We've watched all the video evidence we could possibly have so far before the trial, which is, again, one of those cases where they actually release some of it before the trial even starts. All right, so in November of 2020, Courtney met Christian Toby Obumseli, a former rugby player and cryptocurrency trader who had also studied communication studies at Texas Tech University, and he had a company, Wiseman and Peachtree LLC. He was born on April 12th of 1994, and he grew up in Dallas, Texas. Christian and Courtney fell in love, and friends said that their relationship seemed great. Within a few months, it was evident that there was trouble in paradise, and Christian's friends started noticing that he looked stressed, sad, and tired all the time. He became more withdrawn. So, please do share, like and share with hashtag DV awareness, okay? And I have to share the DV distress signal. If you follow me on X, please go and watch the video that I just shared, because there was a couple driving next to someone in a car, and the lady just put her hand like this, and she just showed the signal, and this couple was like, oh my word, I know what that is, I know what it means. So you just don't know who will see it, learn it, and know, and could save a life. Now I'm still waiting for part 4 of the upload to see what happened, but they were, following the car and hopefully call the police. So that's a DV distress signal, okay? So this case seems like a DV case, and it seems like the aggressor, speculating now, is Courtney Clenney. Okay, so you can hear he was, withdrawing, he looked stressed, tired, sad all the time, getting more and more isolated, Courtney made every effort to isolate him, which led to physical violence when she felt betrayed, when he felt that he betrayed her in some way. She struggled with alcohol dependency, and the more she drank, the more she abused her boyfriend, allegedly. Christian started filming her outbursts secretly, and the pair became toxic and codependent. It's so sad. And there were new videos that were recently released. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's pretty upsetting to watch. We're going to watch a little clip of it, but just be mindful that if it's a trigger topic for you, they trigger warning, okay? It's not too violent or graphic, but it could be triggering if you've had experiences like that. So we'll check that out afterwards. There's also another guy that was in her neighborhood, after the murder, that actually said that she was drunk and threatening to hit him and all kinds of things. So we're going to look at that news as well. Courtney and Christian moved to Miami in January of 2022. Both were excited about a new chapter together. They found a $10,000 per month stunning 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom apartment at 2201 at the One Paradiso Residences. Have you seen that building? Oh my word, those are like luxury apartments, really nice. She told the police that she had paid for the apartment herself every month and was apparently threatening to kick him out frequently. Courtney partied hard in Miami, I'm like Miami. Miami, said that too far. She partied hard, okay? Oh, and her behavior towards her boyfriend became worse and worse. That's the allegations. She called him racial slurs. She hit him. She trashed hotel rooms that they stayed in. She threw stuff around in their own home. And her tantrums were escalating to a dangerous level. Okay, so in typical DV patterns, Courtney would alternate between abusing him and then showering him with gifts and apologies. In front of police officers, concerned friends, and family, Christian always defended Courtney, which just always reminds me of, Gabby Petito's case when I hear that, doesn't it? So sad, right? Again, thank you all for being here. We are doing a recap now of Courtney Clenney's case. It's Christian Obumseli's case, but Courtney Clenney is the defendant who would likely be, on trial. I don't know when. I don't know if it's this year or when it's going to be. We shall see. I'll tell you when her next court date is as well. We'll get there. So please like and share hashtag Courtney Clenney. You can also say hashtag justice for Christian Obumseli. And maybe also DV awareness and Grizzly True Crime. Okay, so in a letter to her, he wrote, "You are honestly the sweetest and most annoying woman I know." In November of 2021, Courtney stabbed Christian in the leg. So here's some messages that they have that's out there as well. So from, I guess, her number 2 Christian. So, okay, the crazy thing about all of this is that yesterday, when you stabbed me in the leg and you saw how bad it was hurting me, this is him texting her, right? And I couldn't walk, I couldn't do, and you were telling me, I wish I could take your pain away. I wish it was me and not you. The next morning, I still woke up happy. I still gave you a good day, even though my leg was hurting because my girlfriend stabbed me. So you're telling me you can't do the same thing the next day and say whatever happened last night, today's a new day, because that's what I do for you. I woke up happy. I took you to Vegas to get your, I don't know what that is, license. I drove right back, helped you shoot, drank with you, didn't blow with you just so that you're having a great day. And I'm doing all this while my leg hurts so bad. Did I make you feel like probably ish for stabbing me? No, I just sucked it up and hoped tomorrow will be better. Shame. That sounds really like a DV pattern, right? Yes, please, let's not victim blame at all. I just want to, so Lorraine, disclaimer, I'm not attacking you, okay? I just want to put this question on the screen quickly and answer it so that others understand, right? So you say, why didn't Christian get away from her instead of defending her? See, that would be victim blaming, and you could ask that for any DV case. And people wouldn't ordinarily ask it if the victim is female. But now if the victim's male, they're like, well, why did he stay with her? You know, but that's not fair to the victim. DV, domestic violence relationships, you know, we've seen the patterns in them, and we see how someone chips away at someone's self-worth and isolates them and, you know, kind of controls their life, you know. Coercive control and DV, very closely related. So, yeah, we are not going to be blaming here. I feel terrible for Christian Obumseli and the handful that it sounds like she was. So here as well, I'm not going to go through all of this now because we have done a deep dive, okay? We have. It's going to take us forever to go through everything. I just wanted to give you a recap of the case. But if you do want to see the deep dive and read all those messages, I have linked the previous 2 videos that we've done in the description box. One of them is a case file. You know, I like to make those for you when it's everything chronologically. So all the, you know, the body cams, the 911 call, the police interviews, everything chronologically for you in the case file, right? Yeah, Tiff Knox says coercive control, big time. So in March of 2022, Courtney broke up with Toby, so Christian Obumseli, right, and invited her mother to stay with her for a week. He slept on a couch for approximately a week while trying to figure out what he would do next. On April 1st of 2022, Courtney's mother returned home, and within 2 days, Christian would be killed. On April 2nd of 2022, the apartment's concierge called the police to report a domestic dispute happening between Courtney and Christian. So there I say see body cam footage because we looked at that last time, right? Hours after this, Courtney said that she got back together with Christian. This is after telling police that she wanted to get a restraining order and she wanted to be the first to get it. On April 3rd of 2022, the very next day, Courtney called 911 at approximately 4:37 p.m. to report that her boyfriend was dying of a stab wound. He was stabbed between 4:33 p.m. and 4:57 p.m. When the police arrived, Christian was found in Courtney's arms, and the apartment had multiple areas covered in blood. Now, I've seen all the photos from a FOIA request. Oh my word. It is, I don't know how else to say it. I don't normally like words like that, but it's a bloodbath. There's blood everywhere. And there's multiple knives. So I'm waiting for the trial to hear, you know, what the evidence was, because it doesn't it's not an oopsie. Oh, no. It seems brutal. Okay. And she says that she threw the knife, and they're actually going to have a knife throwing expert at the trial, I hear. Interesting. So, Courtney was told to sit on the balcony. What she did next was bizarre. She sat there kissing her dogs as Toby was carried out and rushed to the hospital. She was covered in blood. And she was just, you know, chatting to the dog and kissing the dog. Shame, the poor dog. Courtney was taken to the police department and was interviewed for over 4 hours, covered in blood. So if you saw that with me, oh man, we saw that police interview together. It was quite hectic. Courtney said that they had made peace with each other after the April 2nd dispute. Yeah, sure they did. We made peace with each other. Oh, so then why did you allegedly stab him? On April 3rd of 2022, Christian headed out at 1:15 p.m., returning at 4:32 p.m. So that's on that day, right? Courtney was watching true crime videos on YouTube. She was actually watching Christina Randall videos. Okay. I don't know. like, imagine if one day it's like, and they were watching Grizzly True Crime. I'll be like, wait, what? No. If you're watching here, okay, don't you ever get charged with murder, okay? Shh, don't do anything like that. Okay, at 4:01 p.m., Courtney went live on Instagram for 30 minutes. That is when Christian returned home with a Subway sandwich for her. And instead of appreciating it, she lashed out, extremely angry that he had stopped sharing his location with her as he went out to clear his head. Do you see why I say coercive control? She was tracking his ass everywhere he went. And the minute that he's like, I just need some space, I'm just going to turn my location off and I'm going to do something nice on top of it and go get her a sandwich. How does she repay him? Lashes out and allegedly stabs him. So, yeah. Nonnie Ann says same as in women being in a DV relationship. Exactly. The patterns are the same. It doesn't matter what gender someone is, what age someone is as well. Domestic violence extends to children sometimes, or the elderly or whoever it is. It doesn't have to be just partners either. So absolutely. Thank you, Nonnie Ann, for your sticker. So Courtney, wait. She stopped. Okay. Courtney claims that Christian grabbed her. So she claims that Christian grabbed her by the neck and pushed her to the floor. She called her mom for support, which made him very angry. He charged towards her, and in response, she threw a knife at him. But the evidence doesn't show that so far, just from everything we've seen so far, right? Okay. So, yeah, throwing a knife and the way that the scene was, no way. This is, and of course she's going to do that, right? We're just speculating she's innocent or proven guilty. But I highly doubt it's self-defense. And if you see some of the videos, if you've actually deep dived this case already, if you've seen the videos, if you've seen the latest videos, and don't worry, we're going to look at that. Yeah, right. And the more people are coming forward now talking about her behavior, right? Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Pinche, Becky, 0Fs given, says DV is gender neutral. Exactly. And it's not as simple as just saying, well, if a relationship is like that, why not just leave? If it were that simple, we wouldn't be talking about so many true crime cases that involve DV or coercive control. It's not that simple. It's complete psychological control as well, It's really terrible. So, okay, now, where was I? Okay, there we go. So she then, what did she do then? She called her mother at 4:43 p.m. and 4:49 before deciding to call 911. That's also terrible. So she had allegedly stabbed him and then decided to first call her mom, chat twice, and then call 911. Okay, so here's some pictures. I did, darken that picture just so that I just wanted to show you an example. Look at her hands. Oh my goodness. Forensic Fuhrer says men are abused too, but it's underreported. And even if that is true, but even if it is predominantly female victims of domestic violence, predominantly, let's say, right? Let's say it's 90% female and 10% male. Well, that doesn't discount the 10% male, like in my mind, in this case. In my opinion, this case is a DV case. It's a coercive control case, and Christian Obumseli was the victim. So yeah, here's some of the pictures. As you can see, I'm just showing you some of them because look at her pants as well. It's like soaked in blood. I mean, this is horrendous, okay? So yes, trigger warning if you didn't get it before we started. Okay? Right. Exactly. Fiona, did you hear me say that the other day or what? Maybe you're just thinking the same. It's never a relationship that's toxic. It's the abuser. And Laura Richards, her channel's called Crime Analyst and her website's thelaurarichards.com. I mean, her experience is just so amazing. I can never really put it in a sentence. Just go to thelaurarichards.com and you could check it all out there. But I did her course on domestic violence and coercive control, as well as stalking and honor-based violence. And that's what she taught us there, is that people say, oh, what a toxic relationship. But it's not, there's no such thing as a toxic relationship, is what Laura says. It's actually the person who's toxic is the abuser. It's an abusive relationship and there's an abuser in it. So it's good to change the language around that. Instead of saying toxic, it was so toxic. No, abusive, Okay. So someone says here, wait, there we go. Miranda says, what's with the drag marks through that closes the door? Right? She moved his body apparently as well. So yeah, there's drag marks, there's blood everywhere in various rooms. I mean, it's really terrible. So to think of whatever happened in there and then calling her mom twice and chatting and okay, and then calling 911. Horrible. Tiff Knox says, love Laura Richards. yeah, her knowledge on the topic as well, on many topics, on true crime. Oh man. So if you've never checked out Crime Analyst, go check it out. So Courtney was told during her interview with the police that Christian did not survive. She was admitted to a mental health facility for an evaluation and released within 2 days. Investigators initially decided that the entire case was nothing more than a domestic dispute and that Courtney had acted out of self-defense and would not be required to pay any price for what happened. That was shocking. Wow, okay. That was initially. Things have changed since then, so don't worry. The disturbed and saddened Christian's friends and family, Courtney picked up her life again, where she left off, drinking, scheduling her OnlyFans posts, and living as if nothing happened. His family was in so much pain and trying to understand, like, what? Why are there no consequences for her? She just carried on, bought a house, everything. Thankfully, Christian's family hired a lawyer who could clearly see that the case was a lot more than a domestic dispute and a woman acting in self-defense. Yeah, right. Again, in my opinion. Okay. Courtney moved back to Texas to be closer to her family in June of 2022, buying herself a luxury 4-bedroom apartment in Lake Point. Her drinking habits got even worse to the point that she was submitted to a rehab in Hawaii. Okay, so she's like, I'm going to Hawaii to a rehab. Like, okay. I don't know, it reminds me of Lori Vallow. On August 10th, 2022, when Courtney thought that her past was months behind her, she was arrested, charged with second-degree murder, and extradited back to the USA. So we've gone over the arrest affidavit before as well. The more lawyers and investigators dug for information, the more they found. Courtney had tried to stab an ex-boyfriend before. Yes, okay. Broken the jaw of a bodybuilder ex, and had a long history of violent behavior. The smoking gun in the case was when the medical examiner was able to prove that Courtney could not have thrown the knife, as she described, but rather that her victim was stabbed at close range, 8-centimeter stab wound. So yeah, her story was not adding up. The medical examiner concluded that the cause of death was a stab wound and the manner of death was homicide. And it actually, as far as I remember, I don't know if it's on my next slide or not, he had a tattoo, and I think it was of her name, like near his heart, and that's what she had stabbed. That's the area she stabbed. Christine said, I knew her in Austin. She was always messed up, yelling, being aggressive every single night. In her mind, she was the only person in the world. Oh my word, Christine. Thank you for being here and sharing that with us. Wow. Okay. So the stab wound was just inches, above a tattoo on Christian's chest, which was Courtney's name. It's like right next to my head. And I'm like, I wonder now if it's on my presentation. It's right here. You guys are probably like, it's right next to you, G. Okay, there it is. Sure. This one. So Courtney's attorneys filed a motion to release her on bond, which was thankfully denied. She poses a significant flight risk because she had lots of dollars in her bank account. If she's convicted of second-degree murder, she will likely get a life sentence with a minimum of 16 years and 9 months in prison. Now, she's being held on no bond, and there's a status hearing on January 12th, but it actually happened, I think, yesterday. I don't know if it happened on January 12th because I saw there was a hearing yesterday. And in that hearing, they say Courtney Clenney appeared in court Thursday morning for what was supposed to be a motions hearing, but Florida state prosecutors ended up hitting the former OnlyFans model with an additional felony charge. Clenney's accused of killing her boyfriend, stabbing him to death, and was originally arrested for second-degree murder. Now she's facing an additional charge of interception of wire communications in which her attorneys entered a not guilty plea on her behalf. Now that has got to do with what her parents are also arrested for. So we're going to look at that news now, and then I'll show you some snippets that we looked at before. I'll show you the 911 call and just a couple of things, the new video and what a neighbor says. But we're going to start with this because I think that's what you guys are here for today, especially if you followed the case with me, okay? We're going to look at this news because now, wow, her parents are arrested. So it's like Donna Adelson was arrested. In that case, there's a parent arrested. Jennifer Crumbly is on trial right now. Yeah, she was arrested. Yes, more parents arrested. It's like, okay, and why are the laundries not arrested? That's my number one question. Okay, what about the laundries though? Anyway, I'm still waiting to see cuffs in that case. But other than that, could parents stop helping out their criminal children? Stop enabling them. My goodness. Wow. Okay. I felt snarky there. I felt it. Okay, so newly obtained arrest warrants reveal why the parents of Courtney Clenney An OnlyFans model accused of murdering her boyfriend in Miami are now facing charges in connection with their daughter's case. And just so you know, when I first heard this and first heard a little bit of what was happening, I'm like, okay, but if the police searched the apartment and didn't take Christian Obumseli's laptop, then it's their fault. But no, no, it goes so much deeper than that, okay? So they say Deborah Clenney, 57, and Kim Clenney, so don't get confused, Kim is his name, the dad, okay, 60, were arrested on Tuesday in Travis County, Texas. Their daughter is accused of killing her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, 27. I mean, he was only 27 years old. By fatally stabbing him at their Edgewater apartment on April 3rd of 2022, and she claims self-defense. According to the arrest warrants, Deborah and Kim Clenney are each facing a charge of unauthorized access to a computer. The warrants state that the authorities, as they investigated Courtney Clenney, obtained via a warrant text messages from Deborah Clenney. That tranche of messages include a group chat between Deborah and Kim Clenney and their daughter's attorneys, including lawyers Frank Prieto and Sabrina Puglisi. According to authorities, at some point following the killing, Kim Clenney, her dad, had acquired Obumseli's laptop from the apartment without permission. The first message obtained regarding the laptop came from the group chat in September of 2022, the warrant states. We do have the warrant, by the way. I just wanted to read you this article because it summarizes it quite nicely. Right? Okay. Let me just pause quickly. Fiona says, thanks, G. I'm a DADV specialist in children's services here in the UK. Love your DA passion. Oh, thank you so much. So authorities said on September 22nd of 2022, Kim Clenney, the dad, messaged the group. Forgot to ask if she gave any potential passwords for the laptop. Prieto, the lawyer, replied, yes, Sabrina, and I have a list. We will provide, the warrant states. Over the following days, the group, including the attorneys, discussed potential passwords for the laptop according to the warrant. What do they want on the laptop? So on September 30th, regarding one of the passwords, authorities said Kim Clenney, her dad, messaged the group, hell yeah, that pin worked. The warrant states that minutes later, Prieto replied, Kim, hold off on going through the computer, please. I don't want to turn you into a witness just yet if you find something useful. But he added, this is great news and makes this easy. The group, does that say easy? Yeah, spelled it like easy. Okay. The group then discussed shipping the computer from Austin to Dallas so Prieto could pick it up, authorities said. When it comes to potential evidence, we always have to consider chain of custody issues and don't necessarily want to take risks that something gets lost in the mail, Prieto told the group chat, according to the warrant. But hang tight, we'll make a decision by Monday. I'm sure you guessed by my prior text, we don't want you accessing files because the state attorneys could request their own independent analysis of the hard drive and accuse you of creating or modifying files. Authorities said in a text attributed to individual 2. Puglisi reads, that's why I wanted to put a quick pause on that. Obviously, I know you would not do that, but we want to maintain that credibility. While named in the warrant, Prieto, Puglisi, and other individuals in the group chat have not been charged in the case. Will they be charged? Oh my word, imagine if the attorneys get charged. That'll be like, what? Sorry, what now? Laurie says, how did they know the parents had the computer? I'm not actually too sure. I can't remember. How do they know? But I know that Christian Obumseli's family were very upset because they said many of his personal belongings they didn't get back. And they just couldn't understand who had them and why, you know? So the victim, Christian Obumseli's family, has a great attorney. And he's really been helping them to get this case, you know, as well in the spotlight and to put pressure on and to have it investigated properly, which thankfully it was, because as I say, the police initially just let her go. That was scary. Wow. Now, Kim Clenney, her dad, said he had barely opened it and started to poke around, but we started a video call, so I stopped. Never opened a file, so I didn't see anything, the warrant states. The group continued to exchange more messages coordinating the unauthorized transfer of the victim's laptop over the following days, including a message from Deborah Clenney discussing her planning to drive to Dallas to drop off the laptop. There was a gap in the messages between January 19th to May 17th of 2023, police said. Authorities said the next time the laptop was discussed was on July 8th with a message from Prieto that read, sorry, I can't help saying Prieto. It's just such a like Italian sounding surname. Maybe you guys are like Prieto. Sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. Mike Haas, IT expert, now has possession of all the electronics we need him to evaluate, clone, and run searches on. I did not have the password for the suspected Obumseli Asus laptop handy. Does anyone have that readily available? Please send when you can. The next and last known discussion about Obumseli's laptop came on July 25th, so it's over quite a few months, in which authorities said Kim Clenney wrote, Courtney was asking about the visit schedule this week. Also, do we have any updates on the video and the laptop, since it has been 7 weeks since the last Zoom meeting? Possible we can set up another soon? Prieto released a statement to Local 10 News following the arrest of Deborah and Kim Clenney. You see, the thing is, I don't know if this article gets to it, but we can look at the document as well. There was something like 1,400. I can't remember if they said 1,400 or 4,200. We'll have to find it somewhere. Messages sent between Courtney Clenney, her parents, and the attorneys. All about this laptop and all about accessing it and getting the password and guessing the password. Courtney Clenney was trying to guess the password and give it to her dad, and he was trying to get into it. And it seemed like they mentioned somewhere along the line something about, he's like Bitcoin balance or something, because remember, he was like a crypto trader. So I don't know if they were trying to find that, like access to the accounts to get the money out, or what it was. I don't know. Yeah, Gaynor says the parents are now regretting their life choices when it comes to their daughter. Right? Wow. Okay. So this is what the attorneys said. We're extremely surprised and very concerned about the arrest of the Clenney family. This could be an example of prosecutorial overreach and misconduct. It appears excessive in that the family is now confined in jail, awaiting an extradition hearing on what may be an attempt to manipulate media headlines and discredit them before Thursday's scheduled hearing on a gag order in the case. The Clenneys have quite a story, and it's a story that the state of Florida maybe does not want the public to hear. Oh, we want to hear. We believe that, we do what the public wants to. Maybe they don't want to. We believe the Clenney family has been targeted with some trumped-up charges to discredit them in the press and make their lives miserable. It stinks of a power play by the prosecutors to control the narrative. This Thursday, the state is seeking a gag order in this case. Now they've gone after Courtney's mom and dad in such a way that requires them to spend considerable time in jail without bond. Had they done this in Florida, the charge has a $5,000 bond, $500 to a bondsman, and that's it. It appears the prosecutors are going for media mileage in this one, with little or no evidence, as we have yet to know what the true accusations are. It's unnecessary and distasteful. All they had to do was a phone call, and we would have been in court. It's so inexcusable. But when I listened to her most recent hearing, that was, I think, yesterday, they said that the parents are out on, they're out right now on bail. So I don't know why they say that here. Maybe they arranged something. So Courtney Clenney remains in jail awaiting trial on a second-degree murder charge. She's now also facing the same third-degree felony computer charge as her parents, according to an arrest form. Following the arrest of Deborah and Kim Clenney, Obumseli family attorney Larry Hanfield told Local 10 News that he's happy the state's attorney's office is continuing to aggressively hold Ms. Clenney responsible and accountable. The new charges support our position from day one. This was not a justified killing, Hanfield said. The tampering with evidence and obstruction supports our position. This was not self-defense. This was someone not in self-control. We are grateful for the SAO for the new charges. He added that the alleged actions by the Clenney's attorneys represented a line that he and his office would never cross, and said it's up to prosecutors to decide whether they too should face charges. Oh my. I'm going to be so shocked if they're like, okay, and now the attorneys have been arrested too. What? So we'll look at the documents afterwards, okay? I just quickly want to show you some clips here. But yeah, the parents have been arrested. They charged with tampering with evidence because they were very busy with Christian Obumseli's laptop, which they probably shouldn't have had. So maybe this would also be a lesson for people out there. If anyone you know has committed crimes or is suspected of committing crimes and has been arrested, yeah, don't keep the electronics for them. You could end up in jail too. Don't look through them. Just give it to the police. Say, hey, you forgot to take this. This is not Courtney's. This is actually Christian Obumseli's. Take it. That type of thing. Otherwise, you could be in big trouble. And then, of course, having, I think it was jail calls, not text messages with Courtney Clenney. Although they said 1,400 messages or something. There were messages in this group and everything between the parents and the lawyers. And I think the dad was on jail calls to Courtney Clenney. But trying to get the password and guess the password, oh, man. It seems a lot more red flaggy than just like, oh, no, the parents had the laptop. And, they were just trying to access it for Courtney. What for? What do you want to access it for? What are you after? Because that is still the question. And him being a cryptocurrency trader with a company, I would say that's what they were after. But I'm just speculating, okay? I quite like that they're holding parents more accountable these days. What do you think? What do you think about that? Also, thank you so much for being here. If you're only joining the stream now, make sure that you are subscribed. Check if you are. Are you? Okay, please like and share as well. There's some hashtags in the description box that you could use for inspiration of which hashtags you'll be using. And then also the last 2 videos that I did a year ago, those were deep dive videos. You could check out in the description box as well. So we're looking at this case. Courtney Clenney, we don't have a trial date yet. Her next her next hearing is on. Sorry, I've got like literally, I say sorry because I'm like really old school. I literally have like a little paper diary and I'm like, okay, let's look into it. So just hold on one second. I think it's on February 21st. Wait for it. Okay, February 21st. Oh, Clenney's parents' arraignment hearing. That's at 9 o'clock on February 21st. Okay? So we've got that. I just want to show you this one that I found now today. I didn't even see this one before. I mean, this was when published 1st of February. So this is why I say the evidence is stacking against Courtney Clenney, because now this is someone else saying things about her violent behavior, especially when she drinks, right? Okay, Joe Marr says, yes, Gisela, parents cannot be turning a blind eye. Right? Gaynor says, I agree, G, even though she's probably walked all over her parents her whole life, right? It sounds like she was very spoiled, is what they said about her upbringing. All right, so now, reports detail Miami OnlyFans model's bizarre drunken incident after boyfriend stabbing. So here they say 2 months after she allegedly stabbed her boyfriend to death in their luxury Miami condo and just weeks before her arrest and the killing, OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney was involved in a bizarre drunken encounter in her parents' neighborhood in Texas, according to the newly discovered police reports. Clenney is facing the second-degree murder charge in the April 3rd, 2022 killing of boyfriend Christian Obumseli at their luxury high-rise in Edgewater. She wasn't arrested until August 10th of 2022 when she was taken into custody in Hawaii. Her attorney said at the time that Clenney was in Hawaii for rehabilitation for substance abuse and post-traumatic stress disorder. According to new police reports, in between the death of Obumseli and the trip to Hawaii, it appears Clenney went to Texas to stay with her parents. You know how many times we see that as well? Especially in these like DV cases, but we see it with suspects or later if they are convicted criminals. But these DV aggressors, they like run straight home to mommy and daddy after doing something really bad. Man, there's a pattern of that, right? So she did that. On June 16th of 2022, deputies with the Travis County Sheriff's Office in the Austin area responded to an incident involving Clenney. We're going to look at the video now, where the guy tells us more about it. An 18-year-old said that he was walking in a neighborhood when he was approached by a woman who was walking her dogs and who told him that she was drunk, the report said. She approached him, what my son said, visibly intoxicated. Jovan, the 18-year-old's father, told NBC6, and she's like, hey, what's your name? The woman, Clenney, who the teen didn't know, requested that he walk her home, and after he agreed, he said she started making sexual advances towards him. So they sat there, and she's like, kiss me, and he's like, no, if you don't kiss me, I'm going to burn the house. I'm going to burn that down. That's what she said. I'm going to burn that ish down. Like, okay, little arsonist, like, what's going on here? Man, that's not right. That's like predatory behavior right there, right? The teen wasn't interested and texted his father because he felt uncomfortable, and the father came outside and encountered Clenney, who became angry and then started cursing, the report said. Again, if this was a guy, you guys many people would be like, oh my boy, this is disgusting, what a predator, and can you believe it? But now it's a female, so people are like, I wonder. But she can also be a DV aggressor and a predator and all these things, speculatively, allegedly. Okay. Janice B. Tropics page says, thanks, G, for all you do for DV awareness. It's my pleasure. Yeah, I think it's important. So thank you so much for being here and watching and sharing. Now, at one point, Clenney shoved the father, who shoved her back and called the police, the report said. And then she freaked out, Jovan said. She approached me and she started slapping me because I was standing between her and my son. And then you want to doubt that she's going to be physically abusing her boyfriend. Okay, so I'm not really talking at you. I'm just saying, guys, if you are you still doubting it? Like, this one is... She sounds very hectic. Now, the father told authorities an intoxicated female came up to his son and he's stumbling everywhere, the report said. A deputy arrived and spoke with Clenney's mom, Deborah Clenney, who said her daughter wasn't supposed to be drinking and apologized for her behavior. The mother said Clenney had left to walk her dogs, and when it got dark and she didn't return, she and Clenney's father, Kim Clenney, started driving the neighborhood looking for her and found her walking with a male, the report said. Shame, the 18-year-old. When asked if Courtney was intoxicated, Deborah advised that she believed that she was. Deborah further stated that Courtney should not be consuming alcohol as she does not as she does not respond well with her. Okay, alcohol doesn't work with her, right? It really does. Okay, so Deborah then explained that Courtney recently moved back to the area and was staying with them until she moves into her own home next week. Deborah further advised Courtney will be entering outpatient treatment for alcohol starting Monday. Another deputy spoke with Clenney, noting in the reports that she had watery eyes and a strong odor of alcohol on her, the report said. Clenney denied shoving anyone during the encounter. Of course she did. If you guys watch those like DUI arrests and you know these body cams of these like ridiculous arrests when people are so drunk. I saw one the other day where this woman said that she was an Instagram model and she just, you know, put her feet up and was just like, kind of like, I'm too pretty for you to arrest me. Like, what do you want? Oh, no. I love it when they're like, get on the floor. You're getting arrested right now. I love those kind of videos, right? It's like body cam videos. Anyway, sorry. Courtney adamantly denied shoving anyone, stated it was not in her character. I mean, there's video evidence showing it's in her character. At this point, Courtney became emotional, explained she's been going through a really hard time lately and had recently moved back in with her parents. Really hard time after what? Allegedly stabbing your boyfriend after months of alleged abuse, which she's still innocent or proven guilty, so we'll have to wait till the trial to see what really happened there, but it sounds pretty bad. The father of the teen decided he didn't want to pursue charges in the incident, the report said. He later told NBC6 he wasn't aware of Obumseli's murder and that Clenney was accused of it. If I knew what I learned the following day, I would have pressed charges, Jovan said. I would have. I promise you, I didn't know. There she is, feeling sorry for herself. About 2 weeks after the incident, on June 29th of 2022, a deputy called the father and son to check on them, and both said that they hadn't had any more contact with Clenney. The father told the deputy that neighbors got together and will keep an eye out for each other because of some information that they learnt about her. He stated that he would not engage with her if they ran into each other, and I told him that was an excellent idea, the deputy noted in the reports. I'll tell you, that person is aggressive. That person is inclined to hurt somebody, Jovan said of Clenney. Somebody else, especially when she's under the influence. I'm not a judge or jury. I could tell you, that person is disturbed, is what they said. I mean, here's a still image of her attacking Christian Obumseli. One of the times, and there's many times and many videos. So Clenney, who went by the name Courtney Taylor on social media, including on OnlyFans, had more than 2 million Instagram followers at the time of the stabbing of the 27-year-old Obumseli. Obumseli and Clenney had moved to South Florida from Texas in January 2022. So Miami-Dade prosecutors described it, mugshot time, guys, are you ready? Described it as an extremely tempestuous and combative relationship and said that Obumseli was the victim of domestic violence, while Clenney's attorneys have said that she was the victim of an abusive relationship and that she stabbed him in self-defense. Yeah, I know. I think they need to, again, show her a mirror. She's in an abusive relationship and she's the abuser, is basically what it seems like. Multiple videos showing their volatile relationship have been released by authorities or attorneys, and her defense is not happy about that. In the latest hearing, they were saying, like, why are these videos being released? Obviously, it makes her look terrible. So I don't know why they're being released. Multiple videos showing their volatile relationship have been released by authorities or attorneys, and police documented multiple incidents officers responding to involving the couple, which we've looked at before. Earlier this week, mugshot time, Clenney's parents were arrested in Texas for allegedly illegally accessing Obumseli's laptop computer after his killing. Shame. There's a lot of pain in their dad's eyes, huh? Warrants detail the arrest of the parents. So we've got those warrants as well if we want to look at. Thank you to MB Inc., who's also on YouTube. If you've never checked out his channel, it's called MB Inc., like INC, right? Matt, thank you so much for this article and for showing me the warrants, because they've got them linked right here, which we just love it when mainstream media actually links the articles that they do have. It's so nice. Where is it? It's somewhere down here. We went over it. Anyway, I want to move on and then I'll show you that. So this one, oh yeah, okay. So trigger warning, because this is a new video that was released just a few weeks ago, showing yet another fight between Courtney Clenney and Christian Obumseli. So trigger warning for domestic violence. I hope that you'll all be okay. If it's too much for you, then I hope you'll be back for another episode. Or you could just mute it a bit and come back in a few minutes. Okay, so let's play this one for you here.
And we want to warn you, it can be a bit difficult to watch.
Anyway, I was sober for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And now why am I not sober? Because of you. But you're hindering Let go of me. Let go of me.
Come on.
Let go of me.
Okay.
Come on, boy. Let go of me. Like, I can't even, like, I'll talk to you later. Like, get the off me.
So she's blaming him for not being sober. She said she was sober for 2 weeks and look at it now. Now it's all his fault. Well, she wasn't sober after that either. And you can't blame someone else. You know what I mean? For whatever you're struggling with, you can't blame someone else. You got to take accountability. Oh man, we're seeing this in so many cases where the suspects or, you know, the later possibly convicted criminals, they don't take accountability. She didn't seem to take any accountability for her own actions and her own struggles.
You want to hit me?
Christian, he saw me, and I know he's looking. I'm fed up with you. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with how you treat me.
Courtney, you,
Yes, I'm not mad at you.
you let Milan say some line that affected you.
And what I'm understanding, because you could see someone's leg here, it must be one of his friends or who's sitting there. She's doing this in front of a friend or someone. Someone's filming this.
I didn't let her say anything.
I didn't say
you did it.
Hey, let's go to Milan right now. Let's pull
No,
up to her.
no, I'm just gonna say her things.
No, she's in the group chat. Let's put her on the phone right now.
How dare you?
Yeah, you dare me? Keep saying
You
it.
do it.
Then stop saying it then.
Do it.
Then stop saying it then. Then stop saying it then.
I'll actually
Come on.
Like, let me get my
Ask her. Ask her, did I
So this is all about jealousy, and we already heard about how she needed to, you know, track him everywhere he goes, look who he's talking to, control everything she possibly can. And so here she's accusing him of talking to some other lady.
touch her
Do you
breast
see
yesterday?
how instigative he is?
No, you're telling me I touched her breast yesterday when I.
You did. I didn't say touch it.
You said I did.
You were leaning. Yo, you were dumb as I actually don't agree with you. Actually, I'm done.
Okay.
Can you send him home?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm done.
Okay, fine.
Done. Because you're like, you're costing me money. I didn't do He's like, got to this house because of you.
You let Milan say some line that.
No, because of you. Flirting with like 3 girls the whole time.
What 3 girls? What 3 girls? You?
Well, maybe I didn't know it mattered.
You
It was
and you?
Milan.
Milan? I was flirting with Milan?
And she said, hey, come get your mans. She's trying to come home with me.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
You're lying. She said, come get your man.
Very childish as well, right? She's very, very childish, entitled, ridiculous. I don't know, this just irritates me so much. It's just like, oh, so bratty. Ooh, I don't like people like that at all. It's just like, oh my goodness, Courtney Clenney. She's gonna make me snarky, guys. Snark tank is filling up. So, after you see, I mean, this is just one clip and there's so many. Oh, I didn't show you the video. Oh, my word. Why did you remind me, you guys? I'm gonna show you the video on the other article as well of what that guy said.
I was trying to hit on Milan. Come on, baby.
Okay.
That doesn't even sound right.
Christian, you're fired.
Fine.
Hopefully, shut up.
You will never
Hopefully,
see me again. You are the most
Good bitch, shut
ever met in my
Hopefully,
life.
you will.
You corny.
Too. Get the out of here. This isn't even my house.
Yeah, cool.
It's not my house. Like, you're just like my boyfriend. Get the out of here.
Just like your
I
boyfriend?
can actually get like done if you're not here.
Yeah.
Get the
Well, if you want to see the rest of that video, I will link it in the description box for you. It's here on Court TV, as you can see. I do want to quickly show you this one again. Look at this one of that guy that said that she was following, you know, his son around.
She freaked out. She approached me and she started slapping me as I was standing in between her and my son. She started slapping like this.
Only on 6 tonight, we're hearing exclusively from a man who says he had a violent and aggressive encounter with the former OnlyFans model who killed her boyfriend. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jawan Strader.
And I'm Constance Jones. This happening just 2 months after Christian Obumseli was brutally stabbed to death, and it could be used against Courtney Clenney in court.
Jamie Gorilla is live in Miami tonight to tell us more about what happened. Jamie.
After the murder, before Courtney Clenney was charged, she moved to Austin, Texas to live with her parents. It is there where she had an alleged bizarre incident while taking a walk in her neighborhood. Just 2 months after stabbing her boyfriend to death in their luxury Edgewater condo in 2022, Courtney Clenney allegedly found herself in another dicey situation in June in her parents' neighborhood in Austin, Texas.
She approached him, what my son said, visibly intoxicated. And she's like, hey, what's your name?
According to an incident report obtained by NBC6, Clenney approached an 18-year-old and asked him to walk
Quite the glow down, huh?
her home. He agreed, but according to Jovan, the 18-year-old's father, things got weird when they stopped to sit down.
So they sat there, and she's like, kiss me. And he's like, no, kiss me, no. If you don't kiss me, I'm going to burn the she said, I'm going to burn your house. I'm going to burn that down. That's what she said. I'm going to burn that down.
The father says,
I mean, I really wish that he had pressed charges then, right? Because Courtney Clenney, I can't remember how old she was at that time, probably like 27 or 28. She's literally walking around the streets of her parents' neighborhood drunk, then hitting on an 18-year-old, asking the 18-year-old, hey, can you walk me home? He then politely is like, okay, I'll walk you home. That must be so weird for him, so traumatic as well, after figuring out who she really was, right? They didn't know at the time. And then she says, now you have to kiss me? I mean, that's pure predatory behavior. Like, now you're going to kiss me, and if you don't, then I'm going to burn your house down. Oh my goodness.
his concerned teen texted him and he showed up immediately. That's when he says things allegedly got physical.
Then she freaked out. She approached me and she started slapping me as I was standing in between her and my son. She started slapping like this, nothing major.
Neither Jovan nor his son knew about the murder of Christian Obumseli and that Clenney killed him. She's claiming self-defense, but prosecutors say Obumseli was a victim of domestic violence.
If I knew what I learned the following day, I would press charges. I would have. I promise you. I didn't know.
Jovan says this about Clenney's character.
I'll tell you that that person is aggressive. That person is inclined to hurt somebody else, especially when she's under influence. I can tell you, I'm not a judge or a jury. I can tell you that that person is disturbed.
Earlier this week, Clenney's parents were arrested in Texas for alleged.
So Joe Mara says, was this after she killed Christian? Yes. And when she moved back to Texas to live with her parents for a bit, and you say they let her out of the house? Well, at that point, she hadn't been charged with anything. They literally said, oh, it was a domestic dispute and she was acting in self-defense. And that was it. I remember that. It was absolutely devastating to learn, like, wait, what? So you're just going to let her go just like that? And then, because of Christian Obumseli's family and the attorneys they got, those attorneys were like, no, this is so much more than just a domestic dispute and her acting in self-defense. And, you know, I think they did their own private autopsy and things like that. And they figured out that this was she didn't throw a knife in self-defense. The injuries don't match that at all. And so, yeah, she has since been charged with second-degree murder.
Accessing Christian's laptop after the killing. Courtney is also facing additional charges in relation to the computer.
Like, she's a menace, in my mind. That's my personal opinion.
A menace. This guy's eyebrows are on point. So if you're wondering who was speaking, we read through this entire article just before that. And it was a guy who lived in the area, the same area that Courtney Clenney's parents live in Texas. And so she was roaming the streets, they all drunk, and asking an 18-year-old to walk her home. And then she made sexual advances towards the 18-year-old. And the 18-year-old texted his dad, like, oh my word, there's this crazy lady. And like, can you help me? The dad came out and encountered Courtney Clenney, who was then saying that if his son doesn't kiss her, then she's going to burn the house down. And then when he intervened, then she was slapping him and all of that. So, of course, these are just allegations. We don't have, like, body cam of this or anything. But they did really detail a lot about it seems like there could have been an incident report here. So, but then the dad said, oh, okay, he's not pressing charges. But the next day, found out who she really is, like what she's charged with, and especially what she was later charged with, what she's been accused of before. And he's like, whoa, I should have pressed charges, right? Okay, so this one as well is another example. So again, this is from my case file, trigger warning. This is another example of Courtney Clenney's behavior towards Christian Obumseli.
Let me slap you, dumb.
You're not gonna slap me.
Give me my phone.
You have your phone.
You literally talked to her without telling me.
Courtney, I was on a bike ride and she passed me and I said hi. You and Courtney are having a live chat. My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you to act and call me a You're a
Yes,
yes, thank you. Coming from Courtney, thank you.
I want you to get away from me. decide whether or not you're done gaslighting.
I am mad that you told me to come.
Decide right.
He started filming, documenting the abuse, which we see in so many cases, right? So many DV cases. Christine says she was a bully when she was a teenager because Christine knew her, from high school, I think. So you say she was always aggressive. When she started modeling, she became very entitled. And the thing is that, of course, social media really seemed to enable her behavior because she was a massive success on OnlyFans. She made a lot of money. She's had over 2 million followers or something. Yeah, so...
Right now.
Courtney, that's a threat. I asked you so many times that I don't know, and I apologize. But you hit me.
Shut the up.
Also released today, new photos showing the bloody crime scene in the apartment and elevator. Clenney's body apparently covered in Obumseli's blood. The pictures and audio evidence in discovery. NBC6 obtained them through a public records request. Clenney is in jail charged with second-degree murder. Clenney's attorneys from the beginning have maintained that she was the victim. In a statement, Clenney's attorneys argue the release of...
Okay, the rest we know there, so I'm just going to go forward to... I've timestamped everything for you. If you do want to see this, the case file is in... Let me show you here. The case file is linked in the description box, okay? The one we've looked at a year ago. So even here, oh man, this is so sad. It reminds me so much of Gabby's case. The way that, Christian was talking and saying, please, please don't separate us. I don't want to be alone and all of that. It's the same type of pattern, right? So we've looked at all these, body cams and everything here. And then right here is the 911 call. So again, the whole case is trigger warning, of course. I just want to quickly go to my timestamps here. Is it going to play it? 911 call.
Rescue, this is PD Physician Juliet. The caller, ma'am, hold on one moment. The caller advised the address is 3131 Northeast 7th Avenue, 31 Northeast 7th Avenue. The phone number is verified. The caller advised that her boyfriend has a stab wound. Okay, is this a house, apartment, or a business?
Listen, please, God, please, God. Please, God,
Listen, ma'am. Listen, I'm sending help. I need you to tell me exactly what happened. I'm sending help. How old is he? Ma'am, how old is he? Is he awake? Hello? Hello? PD, are you still on the line? Yes, we're still on the line.
Don't forget, she called her mom twice before she made this 911 call.
She didn't provide a room number or anything. No, did she tell you where he was stabbed at? She said he was stabbed on his shoulder.
It was more like his chest as well.
Do you know if there's more than one wound? No, she didn't say. She just kept screaming on the line saying that he was dying and that he needed help, and she kept apologizing. But we do have a call at that same address in reference to a fight that happened. The room number could possibly be 2201 because we already have a call that two people are fighting inside of that room. So they're possibly related. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give her a call back, but we do have rescue on the way, okay? Okay, thank you. And is PD responding on the 3? Yes, we're responding on the 3. Alrighty, thank you. You're welcome.
I'm the police sir.
Yes, you said.
Again, this is obviously the police interview that we've looked at before. So now I think I've shown you everything I wanted to show you there. Look at my coloring here. Sorry about that. So if you watch these deep dives, I don't know what's going on with my lights here. I think that was the time I was trying out new lights. But here as well, there was we did the deep dive here as well. So go and check this out. It's in the description box. We looked at the probable cause affidavit, which has a lot of details in that you might be asking questions about now. So what I want to show you lastly is the documents. So let's quickly go here. And I just really want to see, it wasn't this one. Yeah, we're going to start on page 4. There's 10 pages, but I just want to read from page 4 about the case, okay? Mooney says she made the 911 call after she called her mom, right? Yes. And in the background, somewhere there on the case file, it's all timestamped. You could just hear Christian saying, that he needs help, that he's bleeding too much and all of that. It's very upsetting. Okay, so underlying case. Let's just zoom this in a little bit more for you. Christian Obumseli was killed on April 3rd of 2022 because of an apparent stab wound inflicted upon him by Courtney Clenney in their City of Miami apartment. Following the victim's killing, many of his belongings were taken from the apartment by unknown persons and have not been provided to his family, heirs, or estate. So that, answers that question a little bit, because who took it? It kind of reminds me of, remember Ellen Greenberg's case when her boyfriend's uncle came in there and someone else, and then they just took Ellen Greenberg's laptop and things like that? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, because they say by unknown persons, but then they found the laptop with the dad. So I guess that would be one of the known persons who took something, right? After the victim was killed, an investigation was conducted by the City of Miami and the state attorney's office, resulting in subject one's arrest and charging under Miami-Dade County court case number. A search of Miami-Dade County records shows subject one has been in Miami-Dade Corrections and Rehab since August 26th of 2022 under the Miami-Dade jail number, which I think is Courtney Clenney. While subject one's case was proceeding, the City of Miami made several attempts to access subject one's cellular phone with no success. The device was locked with a 5-digit passcode. To get subject one's cellular phone contents by other means, the City of Miami sought and received 2 warrants, hereinafter iCloud Warrant 1 and iCloud Warrant 2 for subject one's iCloud account. Yeah, so Courtney Taylor Clenney probably, right? The City of Miami additionally sought the iCloud accounts of Kim Clenney, her dad. That's subject number 2 is her dad, right? And Deborah Clenney, subject 3, because of messages exchanged with subject 1, known photographs taken of subject 1 by subject 3, and commingling of financial accounts by subject 2. Thank you so much. Phoebe says, I love your deep dives, G. Thank you very much. Your affiant knows that an iCloud is a cloud-based storage and syncing system linked to Apple devices. By linking individual Apple devices to a particular iCloud account, certain, by the way, I didn't say this, I should have said this first, but these are the, what do they call them? The arrest affidavits of the parents. So there's one for each parent, and the write-up about the story of what happened is the same. So I'm just going to read from page 4, from exactly when they tell us the story, the details they know so far, like a probable cause affidavit, right? So that's what we're reading. Your affiant knows that an iCloud is a cloud-based storage and syncing system linked to Apple devices. By linking Apple devices to a particular iCloud account, certain contents of those devices can be automatically synchronized to or from the iCloud account and multiple Apple devices. Such content includes documents, photos, notes, and contacts. In fact, while we're talking about Apple, I just want to answer this question because I get it every day in my inbox, okay? If you have an Apple device and you struggle to join as a member here, you got to try it on Chrome or Firefox or not Safari, okay? Or during a live stream, you can click the little dollar button at the bottom there somewhere, and then you should be able to join membership while I'm live. Okay, so I hope that answers the question for many people. So they said such content includes documents, photos, notes, and contacts. iCloud can also be used to locate or missing Apple devices and to remotely destroy data on such Apple devices. It also, so we know what iCloud is, right? Do we know what iCloud is? If you don't know, you could pause to read. iCloud Warrant 1 was signed by the Honorable Judge Carmen Cabarga on February 2nd of 2023. iCloud Warrant 1 was served on Apple Incorporated, which complied by providing multiple voluminous download links on March 1st. So it's almost like, ooh, Google searches. We love it when it's Google searches. Is there a Walmart or a Google search involved? Oh, okay, we're going in. Downloads of the iCloud data were made but not reviewed due to the technical expertise required to review the material, the volume of the data, and the establishment of a filter protocol to prevent inadvertently locating attorney-client communications. To address these issues, the state attorney's office learned that an MDPD digital forensic expert, Sergeant Sergio Cremesini, who I'm sure will be at the trial, could download and process the data, filter out communications that needed excising, and provide a simplified reader for investigators to digest the data. To achieve this, however, Sergeant Cremesini, see, I want to do the Italian accent. I'm not Italian, by the way, I'm South African. But anyway, would require a new download link as the original return links had already expired. Consequently, City of Miami investigators applied for and received iCloud Warrant 2 from the Honorable Judge Andrea Wolfson on November 3rd of 2023. So you can see they got it. Now let's see what they have with this iCloud account, okay? Cyber crime investigation. I'll also put the link to the article that had the video of the guy with the 18-year-old son in the description box because that has got these warrants on it, okay? Joanna says, do they have any other children? I believe they have another daughter because we, in my presentation, mentioned her and a sister, her having a sister, right? Jalapi, welcome. Now, cybercrime investigation. Doesn't it remind you a little bit of Kevin Clark from the Letitia Stark trial? Right? Crime intelligence analyst. Now, an initial review of Subject 3's messages, so that's her mom, prompted an investigative referral on December 18th of 2023. That's not very long ago. Just the other day. From the State Attorney's Office to your affiant regarding the willful and knowing unlawful access of a computer. Following the referral, your affiant received a copy of the primary evidence, including Subject 1's arrest warrant, iCloud Warrant 1, iCloud Warrant 2, the victim's cellular phone extraction. Did they have your cell phone too? Oh dear. Subject 1's cellular phone extraction, so that's Courtney Clenney's. Subject 1's iCloud revealed a possible password that unlocked Subject 1's cellular phone and allowed its extraction, and Subject 3's iCloud warrant returns. So they say contained within Subject 3's iCloud, that's the mother, the warrant returns were backed up messages from her phone. Of pertinence here was a group chat that included herself, Subject 2, Frank Andrew Prieto, hereinafter Individual 1, Sabrina Puglisi, hereinafter Individual 2, those are the lawyers, Manuel Recio, Individual 3, and Pamela Corvalin, Individual 4. Individuals 1, 2, 3, and 4 represent Subject 1, Courtney Clenney, in her underlying case. Subjects 2 and 3, her parents, are not clients of Individuals 1, 2, 3, or 4, as defined by Section 90.502. Someone says sisters in hiding. Yeah, where is her sister now? Shame. Subjects 2 and 3, her parents, as listed witnesses in Subject 1's underlying case, they're supposed to be witnesses, oh my goodness, were subject to legal processes and therefore could not be represented by Individuals 1, 2, 3, or 4. Accordingly, there's no attorney-client privilege contained within the messages. Additionally, because the conversations were sought or obtained to enable or aid the commission of a crime, there's no attorney-client privilege to the conversations. Contained within the group chat between both iCloud warrant returns were, there we go, that's the number I was looking for. Look at that! 4,230 messages. That's a lot of messages, right? For unknown reasons, Subject 3's iCloud Warrant 2 messages began on May 17th of 2023, while the last message on iCloud Warrant 1 was January 19th of 2023, therefore leaving a period of approximately 4 months of messages unaccounted for. Did they try to do a delete? Just check what you guys are saying. All right, so who knows if they tried to delete something there. Included within the group chat were various discussions about the victim's laptop and how to access it. That's not okay. Don't do that, right? So when people are like, why would they arrest him if they're not involved? Hello, look at what they're doing. Why are they doing that? And remember, he was a cryptocurrency trader, the victim. So I think they were going for that or something. The first noted, not that they needed it. It's just maybe like, ooh, maybe we could get access to that or something. Or maybe they're trying to delete messages between Courtney Clenney and the victim or something. You just never know. But don't help or enable suspects or criminals or anything like that. Okay. I mean, especially if they're your kids too or your family. Don't do that. You're going to end up in jail too. The first noted reference to the victim's laptop was made by Subject 2, which is her dad, on September 23rd, 2022 at roughly 8:45 p.m. Remember, he was murdered on April 3rd of 2022. And she was arrested in August of 2022. Apparently, in response to an earlier conversation about Subject 1, who's Courtney Clenney, and discussions with her, Subject 2 wrote, forgot to ask if gave any potential passwords for the laptop. All typographical errors in original, reference times are in Eastern time zone and were confirmed through known messages sent by Subject 2 to Subject 1 in the underlying case. Individual 1 replied on the same date at approximately 9:13. Yes, Sabrina and I have a list we will provide. Subject 2 replied immediately, thanks. So, Jan, February, March, April, May. I don't know. I'm not too sure, Miss Holmes. I have to go back and look at that, but it could be. Several days pass with no conversation when Subject 2 messages the group chat on September 26th of 2022 at approximately 4:25 p.m. writing, will you be sending the laptop pin ideas so we can try them before you see her again? in an apparent reference to accessing the victim's laptop using guest passwords. Individual 1 replied on the same date at approximately 6:33 p.m. Good evening, guys. I have a couple that I can forward to you tomorrow. Subject 2 immediately replied, okay, thanks. Several days passed with discussions about other matters when Subject 2 again raises the issue of passwords with the group. On September 29th of 2022 at approximately 6:58 p.m., Subject 2 wrote, are there any PIN or passwords that we can try before you see her tomorrow? Individual 2 replied shortly afterwards, approximately 7:03 p.m. She didn't have anything for me. Subject 2 replied that's her dad at approximately 7:10 p.m. Last Friday evening, Frank indicated that there was a list. You may want to ask her again tomorrow. Individual 2 replied 38 minutes later stating, I'll ask her tomorrow. Subject 2 replied, again, I'm just saying that's her dad so you guys can follow along. Okay, so her dad replied at approximately 8:04 p.m. Thanks. Individual 1, one of the attorneys, apparently in response to Subject 2's multiple inquiries for passwords, then began sending several back-to-back messages to the group chat at approximately 8:23 p.m. Individual 1 sent 6 messages with possible passwords and then at 8:24 p.m. wrote, these were possible. Was not sure about capitalization or spacing, but they are the ones that she could come up with. Individual 1 then sent a second message immediately afterwards saying, I would try all together and mix some of the capitalization and see if we get lucky. Subject 2 replied 11 minutes later, okay, thanks. About 23 minutes later, Subject 2 wrote, now I know that the PIN is actually a 4-digit number. Letters are not able to be entered. Only numbers. Sabrina, please ask her for options. See, the question is, why are they so badly wanting... Why do they want to get into his laptop so badly? It's really sounding not good, right? It's sad. It's thinking like, if your daughter is suspected of murdering her boyfriend, you do not take the boyfriend's laptop and try your level best with the attorneys to get passwords to access it. It's not right. Forensic Viewer says, I love it when G reads to us spoiled bears. I'm glad you enjoy it. Okay, I love reading this stuff to you guys. I'm always like, what? Looking at all the documents, like, what is going on here? It just gives us so much more insight, right? So they said, wait, I lost my place. These were possible. Wait. Okay, the 4-digit number. We were here somewhere. The following day, September 30th of 2022 at approximately 3:57 p.m., completely out of context for the messages, Subject 2, her dad wrote, hell yeah, that PIN worked. I don't know if he says it like that, but I said like that. He would be like, hell yeah, that PIN worked, the PIN worked. Individual 4 loved the message. Loved it. Double tap that, heart that. Okay, about 3 minutes later, Individual 1, or maybe it was love eyes. Maybe they used the love eyes emoji. Ooh. Getting arrested for using that emoji in this situation. Individual 1 replied to Subject 2's message at approximately 4:02 p.m. So Individual 1 is a lawyer, right? Kim, hold off on going through the computer, please. I don't want to turn you into a witness just yet if you find something useful. Individual 1 furthered, but that is great news and makes this easy. Subject 2 replied a moment later, writing, okay, understood. I don't think it was understood. I think they went into the laptop, right? So now they say a discussion was then had regarding custody of the laptop, whether Subject 2 should ship the victim's laptop to Individual 1. Individual 1 discussed how shipment might be possible, but he would like to speak with a computer consultant. Individual 1 then added he would be in Dallas the following week and may want to pick up the victim's laptop in the abundance of caution just in case. Subject 2 acknowledged and Individual 1 furthered, when it comes to potential evidence, we always have to consider chain of custody issues and don't necessarily want to take risk something gets lost in mail, but hang tight, we'll make a decision by Monday. Subject 2, Courtney Clenney's dad, again acknowledged. Individual 2 then sent another message writing, also, as I'm sure you guessed by me prior text. Okay, by my prior text. They say me, that's why I read it like that. We don't want you accessing files because the state's attorneys could request their own independent analysis of the hard drive and accuse you of creating or modifying files. Yeah, you don't say. Yeah, pretty much that's what happened. That's why I wanted to put a quick pause on that. Obviously, I know you would not do that. Also, as attorney, don't assume that they won't do that. Don't be like, don't worry, I know you won't do that. They might do it. Tell them not to. Stefan says the attorney's role is a bit sus too. I don't know, man. My gut feel is saying like, are they trying to get to the cryptocurrency? Are they trying to get Bitcoin and be like, woohoo, let's each get a share? Because that would just be terrible. If that is true, that would be terrible. That's just my speculation. There's no such allegations that I've seen here yet. So they said, Subject 2, her dad replied, I had barely opened it, was starting to poke around. Don't do that. But we started a video call, so I stopped. Why do you start a video call? With who? Anyway, never opened a file, so I didn't see anything. Individual 1 replied, sounds good. Several days passed, and by the way, page 8 out of 10 now. Several days passed without discussion about the victim's laptop, though other discussions about meetings were had. Subject 2 sent a message on October 4th of 2022 at approximately 4:58 p.m. writing, I'd also like for you to have the laptop soon so you can see if there's anything of use to us on it. Several more messages about meetings between subject 2 and 3, which is her dad and mom, and the individuals are exchanged over several days without reference to the victim's laptop. Subject 3, Courtney Clenney's mother, then messages the group chat at approximately 12:09 p.m. on October 6th, 2022. I'll be making the drive to Dallas tomorrow to drop off the laptop. I'm hoping that Morgan will come with me. This is a reference to individual 1's travel to Dallas discussed above. It should also be noted that subjects 2 and 3 reside in Austin, Texas, several hours away from Dallas. Individual 1 replied 2 hours later, okay, sounds great. The earlier, the better. Hoping to catch an earlier flight back to Miami, but drive safe and see you tomorrow. Look forward to meeting Morgan if she comes with you. That's probably your sister, right? Shame. Brenda Snodgrass says, thanks for reading the documents. Love you and the Grizzlies. Oh, thank you so much. And thank you and happy Grizzlyversary. Thanks for being a member for 13 months. So we're almost there. So they say here, wait. I've traveled times. Oh man, I lost my place again. Several discussions that continued into the next day about their anticipated arrival time. On October 7th of 2022, more messages coordinating the unauthorized transfer of the victim's laptop were exchanged between subject 3 and individual 1, which included location information, travel time, travel updates, and estimated time of arrival. Several hours later, October 7th of 2022, at approximately 4:29 p.m., individual 1, one of the attorneys, wrote to the group chat, Hey Deborah, good seeing you today. I forgot to have you sign a property receipt for turning over the laptop. I'll get one to you next week to sign. Thank you for bringing it to the Dallas area. Subject 3, her mother, then replied, okay, and you're welcome. The messages then do not discuss victim's laptop again for several months. Noting again, there are no records from January. So this is not a typo then. Okay, Miss Holmes, they answered it for us. They just had it the other way around. There's no records from January 19th, 2023 until May 17th of 2023. The next time the victim's laptop is discussed is July 8th of 2023. Individual 1 sent a message to the group chat at approximately 6:58 p.m. writing, Good evening, everyone. Mike Haas, IT expert, now has possession of all the electronics that we need him to evaluate, clone, and run searches on. I did not have the password for the suspected Obumseli Asus laptop handy. Does anyone have that readily available? Please send when you can. Mike Haas was later identified as Michael Walter Haas. Individual 5 from now on. Now we've got 5 individuals. An individual with an information technology company named Pivotal IT Consulting LLC that has a principal address in Miami, Florida. The following morning at approximately 9:49 a.m., subject 2 replied, I think the code to the laptop is 0412. It should be noted the victim's birthday is April 12th, 0412. Several days with unrelated conversations occurred until the next and last known discussion about the victim's laptop occurred 16 days later on July 25th of 2023 at 12:38 p.m. Subject 2 wrote, Courtney was asking about the visit schedule this week. Also, do we have any updates on the video and the laptop? What video are they trying to delete or access? Or what are they doing with this laptop and this whatever video is on there? So I would also speculate maybe Courtney told her parents, there's a really incriminating video, or I don't know what, if it's like a sex tape or an incriminating video, some DV video, who knows what it is, but it sounds like they keep bringing up, but what about the video in the laptop, huh? Since it's been 7 weeks since the last Zoom meeting possible, we can set another one up soon. Your affiant made contact with Kimberly Vault, hearing attorney Vault on Friday. I know you guys might say Walt, right? Walt, sorry. Okay, on Friday, January 12th, 2024. Attorney Walt is counsel for the victim's estate. Ms. Walt informed your affiant that the victim's estate has never received the victim's property from anyone, including subjects 1, 2, 3, or individuals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Attorney Walt further advised that the victim's estate has never given permission to anyone, including subjects 1, 2, 3, or individuals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to possess or keep the victim's belongings. Ooh, that must have made his family so mad. Right? The red stiletto says, so, was the password 0412? Apparently. Stefan says, I see some criminal energy there. Right? I wanted to read you this document so that we can just see that there is some substance to what they're charging the parents with. It's not just like, oh no, they didn't know. They just had the victim's laptop and just didn't say anything about it, and they thought, let me drive it over to the lawyers to give to the police. I think it's not quite so innocent, which obviously is why they charge, right? With tampering with evidence. And we don't know exactly what they may have deleted or tampered with, and there's messages that's got a huge time gap as well, so who knows? Okay, so they say the family, Christian Obumseli's family, never gave anyone permission to have his laptop and go through it like this. That must just feel so invasive. Oh my goodness. Finally, Attorney Walt advised the victim's estate or family has never provided consent or authorization to anyone, including subjects 1, 2, or 3, so Courtney Clenney or parents or the attorneys or the IT guy, to access the victim's laptop. Crimes against users of computers. In Florida, a person commits an offense against users of computers, computer systems, computer networks, or electronic devices if he or she willfully, knowingly, and without authorization, or exceeding authorization, accesses or causes to be accessed any computer, computer system, computer network, or electronic device with knowledge that such access is unauthorized or the manner of use exceeds authorization. This offense is a third-degree felony, so let that be known. Are you writing that down? Don't access other people's stuff. Okay, so based on the totality of the circumstances from September 23rd of 2022 to at least July 25th of 2023, the subjects collectively, along with individuals 1 and 2 as principals of one another, accessed or caused to be accessed the victim's laptop with knowledge that such access was unauthorized or the manner exceeded authorization because none of the subjects or individuals sought authorization from the victim who could not authorize such access because he is deceased, the victim's estate, or the victim's representative. This is evidenced by the clear attempts to evade discussions about the victim's laptop via monitored jail calls. Okay. The clear attempts to evade discussions about the victim's laptop. So speaking through the attorneys, right? Willfully enlisting individuals 1 and 2 to obtain possible access codes in person from subject 1 in the Miami-Dade County Jail, and the unlocking of the laptop by subject 2. That is so shady. Literally not being like, hey, Courtney, like her dad, like, how are you doing there, jail? So do you maybe know this your boyfriend's, who she's accused of murdering, do you know his passcode? Even that would be so wrong. But to shadily not try to communicate that over jail calls and go through the attorneys and be like, when are you visiting her again? All that. That is so shady. Oh my goodness. And I would just imagine his family must be so mad. Essen Dirk says, hearing Christian's voice trying to calm Courtney down is so heartbreaking. It almost makes me teary. It is, right? Because the whole time he tries to calm her down. Okay, so to finish this document, they said, willfully enlisting individuals 1 and 2 to obtain possible access codes in person from Courtney Clenney in the Miami-Dade County Jail and unlocking of the laptop by subject 2, her dad. Additionally, subject 3, her mother, transported the device from Austin to Dallas, Texas, where individual 1 took possession of the victim's laptop, ultimately providing it to individual 5 in the city of Miami for unlawful access. And what if that IT guy actually deleted stuff rather than looked at stuff or found stuff or got access? Who knows? I'm not accusing him. I'm just saying who knows. Wouldn't be surprised if we see more charges here, right? So they said, at this juncture, there's no evidence individual 5 knew that he could not access the victim's laptop. You see? What if they hired him to be like, can you just like Control-Alt-Delete everything, just do a complete wipe? You know, you get people that specialize in that and might not know the whole situation. Criminal intent is apparent throughout the messages, such as subject 2's rush to get the victim's laptop to individual 1 so that he could see if there's anything of use to us on it. Subject 2's constant inquiring of the victim's laptop when he first accessed it in October of 2022. Subject 3's hand delivery of the victim's laptop to individual 1. Individual 1's delivery of the laptop to individual 5. Furthermore, knowledge of ownership of the laptop can be inferred by mention of individual 1 on the group thread, referring to the device as the suspected Obumseli Asus laptop. Oh, that group chats, I don't know if they bring any good, do they? But here it's like, so busted, they actually said those words. They can't say, well, we were talking about another laptop. No, you said the suspected Obumseli Asus laptop. Conclusion. Accordingly, based on the totality of the circumstances, your affiant has probable cause to arrest Courtney Taylor Clenney, Kim Dwayne Clenney, subject 2, and Deborah Lynn Clenney, subject 3. All three, okay, with these charges. That's why she got slapped with new charges yesterday. It's actually not a good word to use in this scenario, but you know what I mean. They said hit with new charges, also not. She got new charges added yesterday for this. And they said who together as principals of one another, along with other uncharged individuals, they must be nervous, did commit one count of unauthorized access or excessive access to a computer system or electronic device of Christian Obumseli and or his estate, a third-degree felony in violation of Florida Statute 8.15062A, contrary to the form of the statute in such cases made and provided and against the peace and dignity of the state of Florida. So there you go, guys. We've looked at the document. I just want to see one more thing quickly, which is on my case file here somewhere. I thought I had like a tribute that I made for Christian Obumseli, but I can't remember. Now. I've got it somewhere. Anyway, if you go and look at it, sorry, let me show it to you one more time here. Not that one. That one? Yeah, okay. This video, they're in the description box for you. Okay, there we go. And if you don't know what timestamps are, let me show you. So right here, yeah, that's not my handle anymore. I'll have to change that. Okay, so this is now an impersonator's handle, by the way. Anyway, so full body cam interrogation case file here. So you got that there. And then timestamps are here. So if you click on like this, it will take you straight to presentation time, you see? If you click on the 911 call, it takes you straight to the 911 call. Sorry for that. And Clenney hears that Christian did not survive her attack. Which, by the way, look how she reacts. Look at her reaction when they tell him that he did not survive.
It's a shock.
She says, I've been crying so much. And so she's already snorking it up back there. Double G time. So you can go check it out over there. If you've never seen that, you might want to check out that case file this weekend or something, you know? Maybe you could check it out. So I hope that I have caught you up to speed with this case. I unfortunately don't have a trial date for you because we don't know when that is. We just know when the parents are going to be arraigned, which is on February 21st at 9 a.m. in Miami, Florida. So, yes, we've got that next. I don't know when she's going to be in court next. She was just in court. And I'll keep you posted because I'm following this case. You know, I want to see what happens and when the trial is. Maybe if they do stream it, I mean, maybe you can watch it together. If you wouldn't mind, please, if you haven't yet liked or shared it, or do it again. Like and share. Hashtag DV awareness would be a good one for this case as well, so that people can learn, you know, that they can be male victims as well. There's predominantly female victims, but there are also male victims. And this case seems like one of those, and it's incredibly sad. So also, wait. Before I go, there's one more thing I want to show you, okay? Now is actually the time I can show you this. Look here, wait. Part 1, yeah.
Car, that car right there?
Yeah, that one, the like silvery brownie color one.
Okay, we'll pull it next to it and then...
How do we pause? I'm like, pause the short. So this is a YouTube short that someone had sent me, and then I shared it on X, which, oh my word. You know how we always share the DV distress signal? And it can be a distress signal for many things. It's mostly for DV. That's what it was created for. But if you've been abducted, or, you know, if someone's been kidnapped, or if they are just in distress, or they're feeling like this guy's freaking me out from some Tinder date or something, and they see that the person isn't looking and they can just quickly do that, that is a distress signal. It means there's something very wrong. You need to call the police. And I really love what these people did, because they were like, this couple seeing this car, and they're going to pull up next to the car, and you'll see that the woman does that like really quickly, right? So I still don't know if this situation, what happened, because they still are yet to upload part 4. So who knows what the outcome was yet, okay? But it's just an example. So even if it turns out to be, I don't know what, whatever it may be, it's an example of how useful it can be if people know the signal. Because if that lady did that and people are like, hi, and they don't know what it is, that doesn't help anyone, right? Okay, so have a look at this quickly.
What did she say?
Can you see it? Can you see her?
No, not yet.
She just like did that signal for help.
Roll down your window. Roll down your window. Go up next to her.
Now look.
her?
That's her. That's her. She did it again. She did it again. She did it again. Okay, what do we do?
That's the sign for help?
That's the sign for help. What do we do?
Just back up. Let get behind them. Okay.
Okay. Should we follow them?
Yeah.
Look, and there's no number plate.
I'm gonna cry. We're freaking out a little bit.
It's okay. It's okay. Shoot. Just stay right there. Stay right there. Turn your. They don't even have a license plate.
I know. I don't even know how to follow them. Okay.
Go ahead. Call 911.
Okay, so part 1, 2, and 3 is up, but I'm still waiting for part 4. So there's nothing more we can learn from it right now from part 1, 2, or 3. They say there's no license plate on the car. I'll put the link to these shorts as well in the description box if you do want to check it out. I'm going to check it out. I'm waiting for part 4. Like, what happened? Like, if I show you part 3,
There's
look.
no license plate on the car. And the way they were driving was even a little scattered, like it seemed a little chaotic. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, bye.
Are they sending someone?
Yeah, they said that they'll send someone in this area, but like, what are we supposed to do? Should we just follow them anyways? They said not to follow them.
I think, well, what if they don't find her?
But I mean, they're probably not going to find her. There's nothing they can do unless it's like at a house or something. They can't follow a car that's in motion.
I would follow.
Well, just stay back a little bit and see where they go. I just feel bad because she looked really sad.
And it's so hot outside, and they probably have no air in there.
Just don't get too close, okay?
Okay.
Oh, they're going
to Maryland? I mean, this is scary. And that's exactly why. I mean, some people, I don't know, no one's actually ever been annoyed with me with it, but they might be like, why do you keep sharing that? It's so important. I don't know that signal. I don't know exactly when. I can't remember. We looked at it before, when exactly it was created, but it's so helpful. You know? I wish I had known that in my life before in some scenarios, you know, that you're just like, damn, like making, you know, shifty eyes at people. Sometimes they're like, what are you trying to say? You know, but having a signal, or if you go to a bar and you order an angel shot, that's also like, there's a problem. They should know what that means at most bars worldwide. What was the other one? There's an angel shot. There's a few of them, but the signal and ordering something like an angel shot. Yeah, that could be very helpful. Okay. So Regina says, have seen this several months. You saw that one several months ago? It doesn't show the date when this was posted. This says 6 hours ago, 4 hours ago. So I have not seen that before, but it's so, you know, helpful to see that, yeah, sometimes it could be someone just going like, you know, and then just doing the signal so that the person next to them doesn't see, but you might see it and you'll know what it means. And the more people you teach about it, they'll know what it means, right? Okay. So just a crazy Swiftie said, every time you remind us on a live stream, G, I remind my 13-year-old daughter and her friends. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for doing that as well. Especially, yeah, share it with teens, share it with everyone. Share it with everyone you know, because it just, you never know if it could actually save a life. So yeah, I'll be watching to see, well, where's part 4? Could you upload it? What's happened? I hope that that lady is okay that was in the car, because she looked really stressed. Okay, that really did look like a situation that the police would hopefully get involved in. Okay. Pernille says something about wanting to talk to someone, a name. I'm sure it's still got the name Angel somewhere in there, right? So I don't want to say in case it's the wrong thing I say, but I know that an angel shot is one, and I know that the signal is another one. Shauna says, happy birthday, Rochelle Pronzo. Love you, G, amazing mods, and all my Grizzly family. Thanks for all you do, Gizla. Thank you so much for wishing Rochelle Pronzo a very happy birthday and happy Grizzlyversary. Okay, guys, now I've had 2 live streams today, so if you missed the first one, you might want to check that out. Yesterday, we also looked at a deep dive. It was a deep dive of a crazy case where a guy, 32-year-old guy, allegedly murdered and decapitated his dad's head, and then filmed a video and put it on YouTube. A 14-minute crazy rant. Luckily, the YouTube video is now, it's all down, removed and everything, but we did a deep dive on the case. He was arrested quite swiftly, actually. And today we watched the press conference of that case as well. So if you missed yesterday's live stream's deep dive and the press conference, maybe you want to check that out, okay? And then also recently I know I didn't cover the Alec Murdaugh trial, because guess what? I didn't cover trials yet. Can you believe it? The first trial I covered was Letitia Stout, okay, and then since then we've never really looked back. But I did make a highlights video for you if you do want to see that. You know, when I do the defluffing, right? No paper flapping and things like that of the most recent hearing, and it was all drama, drama, drama. My goodness. So I've made that for you as well. And then, yes, I'm very aware that there are new Delphi documents that have just dropped. Oh, my word. But my voice will need to rest because now it's about the defense attorneys, you know, filing their motion back compared to what McClellan said and what Judge Gold ruled and all of that. So it's just all this back and forth. There's just no sight and end for that. But onwards and upwards, hopefully, and towards the trial, October 15th for that case. So I will see you again very soon. As you know, I'm always making things for you. And if you don't see me, remember there's two places to look then, okay? One is on Patreon, because there you get podcast episodes, even though I'm not a podcaster. I always say I'm not a podcaster, I'm a YouTuber, okay? But you get podcast episodes, documents, behind the scenes videos, and tomorrow we're going to have our very first Patreon only live stream. So that's exciting. I'm very excited for that. And then if you don't see me there, maybe you could check the YouTube members playlist, because I might be there. Okay, so members, make sure that you do check the community tab. You should get notifications when we do another member stream. It will be coming up soon, okay? Right, I always just got to prepare for these things. And at the moment, I've been deep diving all these cases, right? So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourself, okay? Get in the sun a little bit. And I will see you again very soon. Stay safe, and thank you, Mods, for everything you do.